Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Happening, and this is a new film from director Audrey Diwan and focus on the adaptation of Annie Ernaux's eponymous novel, looking back on her experience with abortion when it was still illegal in France in the 1960s. Or I guess it could just be America in the 2020s. And honestly, that's why this film feels so poignant and very relevant today, is because basically what's going to be happening is these kinds of things are going to be happening right now in America in the 21st century. And it's a very interesting thing to think about because, like, you had a film like Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always coming out, and that felt I saw, like, in Roger Ebert's review of this, Robert Ebert's.com's review of this, didn't come back from the dead to review this, describing that as feeling like out of time, and like, how could this still be a thing today? Well, still a thing today, and this feels very relevant and feels so timely because it is something reflecting in society today. And right off the bat, I feel like that's going to strike a chord with people, and very strongly one way or another, because I have a sinking feeling that this kind of film is not going to be something that can be as appreciated by potentially people who do not agree with the right to an abortion. And, you know, I'm not going to get into my own personal politics about this stuff, but I'm taking a step back and thinking about this film as a film. Obviously, it has a very strong message about pro-choice and having the availability for an abortion. I'm not going to say pro-abortion because I don't think people are just like, hey, I want to be able to have an abortion whenever the hell I want. No, it's the availability to be able to have it. And this film really focuses on that lack of ability and unfortunately sheds a light on the unfortunate potential other options for a young woman who really cannot afford to take this pregnancy to term. And, you know, and Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, it's that journey getting to finally being able to get it at a place, like, formally, and this young woman processing her trauma. This is like her trying to figure out any way possible to just get one. And this film builds up to such an impactful and poignant finale that it's hard to not connect with this young woman and understand her trauma and the unfortunate course of action she has to take to get to this place. And this film is so emotional. Diwan just brings so much life and tension and just poignant emotion into this film that it's hard to argue that you don't feel for this young woman's journey and be there with her every step of the way. This is also a beautifully shot film and extremely intimate in the way that it's portrayed. The shots are so engaging and tender, and how the lighting just feels so natural to it. This feels like you're a voyeur. You're there with her every step of the way. And that makes it so much easier to feel connected to her. And that was an inspired choice to make this film this way. And you're there with her from start to finish. You see her struggling through, like, coming to grips with this with different people in her life and the expectations and people and their judgments upon her. And this film is so well paced, well structured, and perfectly builds up to a climax that is incredibly emotional and just hard to watch because how impactful it is. And you're sitting there expecting this to just be something mundane, but it feels timeless and so timely today. And yet again, we have a story like, keep harping back to Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, that really sticks out there and just hooks you. And you're there every step of this journey with this young woman. And the performance from Anamaria Vartolomei, and she just kills it. She is an absolute, uh, just absolute presence in this film. It's very subtle, but emotional and powerful. And this is the kind of film that's going to leave you in some places feeling a lot of feelings by the time that you're done with this film. It is a hard film to watch, especially as we get to the climax of the film and what she has to resort to do. But this is something that's going to be impactful to many people. It's going to get large reactions out of even more people. And this is definitely going to be something to talk about. So go check it out. But those are my thoughts on Happening. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.